Hello, everyone. I am Bazo, and welcome back to King's Quest 3. In our last episode, the wizard went journeying, and we took the opportunity to go exploring and mixing up a couple spells. Today, I'd like to finish mixing some spells and get rid of that wizard once and for all. But the very first thing we're going to have to do is wait for the wizard to show on up. Now that we have the dough in our ears, and since we're waiting for the wizard, let's see what the cat has to say.
Get lost, Gideon, you creep.
I do not condone doing this to real cats, but this jerk is just a mix of pixels, so.
Hey, that hurt. Haha, missed me. Wait till I catch you on the steps, you creep.
I have returned, Gwydion, and am ready to eat. So let's go feed Jerkface, shall we? Mananan is impatiently waiting for his food. His stomach rumbles as he drums his gnarled fingers on the table. You'd better feed him quickly, or dire consequences may result. He placed the food on the dining table before the hungry wizard. Ravenously, he devours every bit of it. It's obvious the wizard enjoyed his meal as he lets out a satisfied belch. He rises and leaves without so much as a thank you. I mean, seriously, would we really expect a thank you from him? You know, the game goes through pains to make it obvious that this guy's a jerk to you. Yeah, well, now we're just going to have to wait for him to decide to take a nap. I am going to bed, Gwydion. Do not disturb me. And now we're going to have the same 25 minutes to go out and explore and whatnot as when he went journeying. The first thing we're going to have to do is take everything we put under the bed. And thankfully, we don't have to walk down that stupid path this time. Thankfully, they're all completely blind and they don't notice that I just became a fly, so. You overhear snatches of the two bandits' conversation. Swim just like a pig, and that rope you rigged inside of the big oak tree works great. Now nobody will find our hideout. Why, I'll bet even that wizard. In your insect form, you fit easily through the hole in the tree. You have flown through the hole in the base of this tree and are now inside the hollow trunk. You see a rope leading up into a small hole above you. This area is cramped and confining, even for a fly. The impulse to buzz around has vanished. You feel yourself growing bigger, so you head for what you hope is a safe place to land. You lie down on the ground and reach into the small hole. You feel around inside the hollow tree and discover a rope stretching up into the tree. You pull it, and, to your amazement, a rope ladder falls from the branches above. You are standing outside a shack that has been built in the branches of the spreading oak tree. A rope ladder leans down toward the ground. There seems to be somebody moving around inside the treehouse. And so now we have to go up and down until that guy falls asleep. You can see very little of the interior from out here, but there appears to be a figure sleeping in a chair. And that's why we save. You have entered the bandits' hideout. One of them is sleeping at a small table. The hideout is made of rough planks, sparsely furnished with a table, a chair, and a small wooden bin in the corner. You very carefully lift the coin purse off of the table, practically out from under the sleeping bandit's nose. That took too long because I looked. The bandit opens his eyes and sees you in his hideout. He jumps up from the chair and chases you. Yep. No problem that time. Now the next thing we want to do is get this porridge because we're going to need it to get rid of the wizard. Oh, and there it is. That's incredibly handy. This bowl of porridge is just right, so you take it with you. And now that we got the money, we can go ahead and go shopping. Good day to you, young man, greets the storekeeper. What can I do for you? The shelves are filled with all sorts of useful items. There are a few items of particular interest to you. Leather pouches, salt, fish oil, and lard. And we're going to be buying them all. Finally, the storekeeper says, You will be very happy with this pouch. That will be 1 gold coin. What else can I get for you? Asked the amiable storekeeper. A wise purchase, sir, the balding storekeeper states. You will find no better lard in the land. That will be 1 gold coin. That's technically true because you will find no other lard in the land. What else can I get for you? A fine choice indeed, young man, the storekeeper says, smiling. That will be 1 gold coin. What else can I get for you? A wise purchase, sir. Okay, and that's everything we need from this guy. The sandy beach is bordered by grass. A stream cuts through the grass and sand to complete its journey to the sea. You fill your cup with ocean water. With a wooden spoon, you kneel and scoop a spoonful of wet mud from the stream's bank. You carry it with you. As you touch the sticky web, a giant spider drops down from her lair in the tree above. You attempt to escape, but her sticky web holds you fast. Now, how do we get rid of this spider? Well, it is a little known fact that eagles absolutely hate spiders. How you're supposed to know that? I don't know, but that's the answer. So we're going to turn into an eagle. And here we are, a majestic eagles. So we fly on up here and bye-bye spider. You swoop close to the spider web and find the huge spider guarding the entrance. Taking her in your beak, you vow to get rid of her once and for all. Such impressive cutscenes back in the 80s, eh? Your magic spell is wearing off. Which means we're now free to walk into the cave. You have entered the cave of the Oracle. You are almost afraid to speak. The oracle remains silent for a long time. Finally, you hear a hollow voice that seems to come from far away. I've been waiting for you a long time, Gwydion. I have sorrowful news for you. Years ago, a terrible three-headed dragon invaded Daventry and keeps the people in a state of terror. This monster requires, once a year, the sacrifice of a young maiden. Sadly, your own sister, Princess Rosella, is the chosen one this year. Time is running out for her, your parents, and Daventry. You, Gwydion, the hollow voice continues, are the only one who can save them. But you must hurry. I have something to give you, a small stone of amber. Use it wisely, my friend. The oracle grows silent again and seems to fall into a deep sleep. You attempt to thank the oracle, but the oracle does not respond. Now, from what I understand, there was quite a bit of controversy when this game first came out. Fans were claiming it wasn't a true King's Quest game because it didn't involve King Graham, it wasn't in Daventry, and it was about some stupid little kid named Gwydion. It took months before anyone got far enough to talk to the oracle, or I guess hear the birds, and learn that Gwydion was actually the prince of Daventry. Nowadays, it seems like everyone would have all this information on the internet within 5 minutes of release. Now we have just one final thing to get, and we should be able to make all the spells that are available. And there we go, everything we need. So back to the wizard's laboratory. You pour the mandrake root powder into the bowl. You put the ball of cat hair in the mixing bowl. You pour the fish oil into the bowl and keep the empty jar. You mix the ingredients together. The mixture turns into an oily, disagreeable dough with cat hair sticking out of it. Scrunching your nose in distaste, you grab the oily dough from the clay bowl and put it on the oaken table. Pushing the palm of your hand on the oily dough, you flatten it out until it is in the shape of a cookie. After a bit, the cookie hardens. Mandrake root and hair of cat. Mix oil of fish and give a pat. A feline from the one who eats this appetizing magic treat. You wave the magic wand over the cookie, then take it from the table and carry it with you. Strange feeling comes over you. That was amusing, Gwydion. Now we're going to go ahead and crumble that into the porridge. The porridge conceals the crumbled cookie. It still looks as appetizing as ever. You place a spoonful of coarse salt grains in the mortar. Then, using the stone pestle, you grind the salt until it is very fine. Placing the dried sprig of mistletoe in the stone mortar, you crust it with the pestle. Soon you have a crushed mixture of salt and mistletoe in the mortar. You remove the pestle and lay it aside. You place the beautiful amber stone in the stone mortar. Very carefully, so as not to miss a single spot, you rub the amber stone around in the mixture of ground salt and mistletoe. When you have finished, you remove the amber stone and discard the remaining powder.
Smack.
With this kiss I thee impart power most dear to my heart. Take me now from this place hither to another place far thither. You wave the magic wand over the encrusted amber stone. Yeah, this one isn't all that exciting. It appears that stone has a flaw. Putting the dried acorns into the stone mortar, you use the pestle to grind them into a rough acorn powder. Turning the heavy stone mortar upside down, you carefully pour the acorn powder into the bowl, then return the mortar to the table. You very carefully pour a cupful of nightshade juice into the clay bowl so as to not to spill a single drop. There is now an ugly brown, mealy liquid mixture in the bowl. You gently stir the unappetizing liquid. Making sure there is fresh charcoal in the brazier, there is a small supply here. You light it with the flint. Soon the brazier is hot. You gingerly place the clay bowl of ugly brown liquid on the charcoal brazier. Soon the hot brazier brings the mixture to a bubble, then a boil, releasing a bitter-smelling steam. You let it boil until the nightshade juice is nearly gone, then remove it from the brazier. You pour the bowl's contents onto the oaken table, then spread the hot, sticky mixture over the tabletop. In a few minutes it is dried to a very crumbly, coarse sleeping powder. Acorn powder ground so fine, nightshade juice like bitter wine. Silently in darkness you creep to bring us off a euphoric sleep. You pass the magic wand over the table. You untie the small leather pouch, scoop the powder from the table, and place it within. You now have a pouch full of sleep powder. Night, night, Gwydion. Carefully you pour the cup of ocean water into the mixing bowl. Being cautious not to burn yourself, you gently place the bowl of ocean water on the hot charcoal brazier. You watch as the salt water slowly warms, then begins to steam. You remove it just before it boils. Adding a spoonful of mud to the hot ocean water, you slowly stir the mixture. The mud turns the water a cloudy brown. You put just a pinch of toadstool powder in the bowl of hot brown liquid. Leaning over the hot brew, you forcefully blow your longest breath of air into the bowl, whirling the brew around and around. Elements from the earth and sea combine to set the heavens free. When I stir this magic brew, great god Thor, I call on you. You wave the magic wand over the bowl of hot brown liquid. Waiting until the liquid is cooled, you carefully pour the storm brew into an empty glass jar. There's no silver lining in this cloud, Gwydion. Using your kitchen carving knife, you cut a gash in the small cactus. Juice begins to drip. Grabbing one of the measuring spoons from the oaken table, you grasp the slit cactus in your hand and squeeze it until you have a spoonful of cactus juice. The small cactus is quite devoid of liquid now, so you toss it away. You carefully add the spoonful of cactus juice to the bowl. You scrape the lard into the mixing bowl and keep the now empty jar nearby to store your finished formula. You cautiously pour the 2 drops of toad spittle into the bowl. Using one of the stirrers lying on the table, you mix the lard, cactus juice, and toad spittle until it is smooth and blended. Cactus, plant, and horny toad, I now start down a dangerous road, combine with fire and mist to make me disappear without a trace. You wave the magic wand. You scoop the invisibility ointment out of the clay bowl and return it to the lard jar. Gwydion, oh Gwydion. What Gwydion? Where? And there we go. We now have all the spells you can make. And now there's not much to do except for wait for the wizard to wake up. There's a lot of waiting in this game, and we haven't even gotten to the worst part yet, where we're on the pirate ship, and I believe it takes 30 real-time minutes for the journey to end. Gwydion, I have awakened. I am ravenous. Fix me something immediately. Mananan is impatiently waiting for his food. His stomach rumbles as he drums his gnarled fingers on the table. You'd better feed him quickly or dire consequences may result. Oh, don't worry, Mananan. I have a very special meal for you. I hope you enjoy. You place the food on the dining table before the hungry wizard. Ravenously, he devours every bit of it. You fooled him. Mananan didn't realize the porridge was tainted and ate the whole bowl. Congratulations! Mananan will never again enslave you or the people of Lewender. At last, you are free. Well, now that we have our freedom, it seems like a good time to leave it for the day. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and thanks for watching. See you next time.